This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba for another technical diving tips, techniques, and trips video. Welcome divers. Thanks for joining me today. What we're going to do in this video is have a walking tour of Dahab Egypt, specifically the lighthouse area where we stay when we come to Egypt to do our diving. Dahab is the location of the infamous Blue Hole. We come here each year to go through the Blue Hole Arch. We also usually go to the bottom of the Blue Hole. There will be separate videos on our technical dives. We normally stay at the Planet Oasis Resort and Dive Center, so what we're going to do is start the walking tour from there. So from the street, or promenade rather, you can walk up to the resort on this path here. And there's actually two resorts here. There's one called the Red Sea Relax, which is on the left-hand side, and then Planet Divers is on the right-hand side. So we're walking up to the pool area, and the pool is actually very nice. I do not get to spend much time in there, but it is rather nice. So on the right, what we're going to do is we're going to, here's the Red Sea Relax side, rooms and the pool, and then the Planet Diver side on the right. Okay, so here we're approaching the restaurant, and I'm going to look inside the door. They include breakfast in the fees for the hotel, and it's air conditioned. The restaurant used to be up on the third floor, open air, and it was sometimes very hot, but they've now moved into there, and it's air conditioned, so it's much more comfortable for breakfast. So they have sort of a continental breakfast, and you have eggs to order. All right, so again, here we're looking at some of the rooms. This is a multi-story complex. At least two levels here. This glass door is the reception. We'll be walking through there in a minute. The pen to the left actually has 3 or 4 tortoises in there. They only come out during certain times of the day, usually in the evening when it's a little cooler and it comes to eat. That's our patio there. All right, so now we're walking back toward the reception. And we're going to go through the door here. You'll see the reception, and then we're going to go out onto the street. That's a stairway to the second floor. All right, so we're going in here, and it's a nice lobby. Has 2 large air conditioning units, so it's usually very cool. Some seating space. Sometimes you have to wait. If you come early, you might have to wait a little bit to check in your room. All right, so we're going through the other door, the main door for the lobby here, and we're out on the street. This section of the street, there's Planet Divers Resort, Oasis Resort there, bank machine. All right, so what we're going to do is walk down the street here. This part of the street is actually accessible by vehicle. So if you walk down here, there's not a lot of space on the sidewalk, so you get beeped all the time by cars going by. What we're going to look at here is a place called Ralph's German Bakery, and some people don't like the breakfast there, so you can also go to Ralph's German Bakery, which is pretty inexpensive. That's another option to eat. All right, so here's some parking here. You can see that there are different stores on the right. That pharmacy on the right is the one that I usually go to get different things. One of the things that's very hot here in Egypt, and so I typically get some rehydration salts at the pharmacy and mix that up in water. Water is very inexpensive. I think we just walked by one of the grocery stores, and water is phenomenally cheap here. You can get a gigantic jug of water for like $1 a bottle of water. Here's some scuba shops on the right-hand side. There's the market right there that I'd buy that at. So those big jugs down there on the bottom on the left, those are like $1. You can also get 4 very large 1.5 liter bottles, and those are like 75 or 7.5 Egyptian pounds, which is you can get 4 of those for like $1. This shop on the right used to be a really nice dive shop. I'm sorry that they're out of business, but I guess that happened during COVID. Happened between now and last year. This is the fruit stand. I call these guys the fruit guys. They have fantastic grapes. They have fantastic peaches. This is my favorite dive shop here. And one of the nice things about the dive shops are that they're air conditioned. All right, so now we're walking down on the promenade, and this is the area. There are no cars here. You can actually, what divers do is they go from the hotels and they access the water either by walking through one of these restaurants on the right-hand side of the water. So basically the dive shops and the hotels are on the land side, and then the restaurants are on the water side. And if you are with a particular resort, let's say Planet Divers, you actually walk through the Planet Divers restaurant, which we will do in a moment. So different vendors on the right-hand side. There's a guy here we usually buy towels from. Here's another hotel, bank machine, and some more vendors. Here in Dahab in Egypt in general, it's not a good idea to offer or accept the offer that the vendor offers you. Usually you can, as a justification to bring the price down on something, you can offer to buy multiple items. Alright, so just some more restaurants here on the right. These are actually not the restaurant where you sit. This is the restaurant where they actually cook the food on the right hand side. And then what you do is you sit down on the left hand side. This is my favorite restaurant. I generally order an appetizer with shrimp and rice for lunch, and then in the evening I order shish tahook, which is actually like a chicken shish kebab. And usually they give you so much food, I usually have enough left over from my dinner to have lunch the next day if I happen to be back here in the lighthouse area. Okay, there's the resort on the right again, Planet Oasis. The little structure you saw there, and also the tiling, is new since last year. They just recently started building that. Here's the Planet Divers restaurant area, and what we're going to do is we're going to walk down through the restaurant like you would if you were a diver. You'll actually walk down through the restaurant and go down the steps. A little bit of erosion in the bottom step, so low tide, I stacked a bunch of rocks there to act as the second step. When I first went down there, I actually had to have a guy help me up over the step when I was carrying a set of doubles. Okay, so just some more video of the restaurant here. There's a cart if you're doing recreational diving, or even if you're doing technical diving. They put your gear on a cart from the dive shop, so you don't have to walk with it all the way down. Here's some more vendors, another convenience store. There's a bunch of convenience stores down there, and this just goes on and on and on. So if you don't mind walking a bit, you can continue on seeing all kinds of different things. And again, the seating part of the restaurants are on the left. The shops, dive shops, and also the restaurant kitchens are on the right. This is the entrance to another dive shop. This is called Dahab Divers, and we used to dive with them before we started going with Planet Divers. From this point, the promenade just keeps going on, and if you like to walk, you could see the rest of it. But I think you get the idea for now. This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.